Hello there, Tarot Tube. This little video is for a friend. You know who you are, Sarah, and she asked me for suggestions on a mini deck that she might use for work. Now, I am in the US, Sarah is not, and I am going to tag Dark Fae Tarot and Antoinette Tarot in Jewelry, who live in her part of the world, to see if they have any suggestions, because I'm not sure that what's available to me is going to be, like the expense of getting it where she is might not make it a good suggestion. Also, when she made this question to me, my immediate choice was a deck that I do not actually have, but so that'll be at the end. But first we're going to go through my little basket of minis and sort of pull out what might or might not be good. So she asked for a tarot deck, but I've got a lot of oracle decks, some of which I would use at work. So let's see what we've got. So my first, let's separate them. No. We'll just go by them one by one. It'll just be what happens to come up. So this is Buffy, and I actually did a walkthrough of this, which I will link. I'll put something in the description below. Maybe I'll make that the last video at the end. So you could just click through to look at that one. So if you're a Buffy fan, I do think, why is this all mixed up? Oh, I know why it's mixed up, because I'm playing a game with it. Don't get that out of the way. Yeah, so I'm playing an RPG, a role-playing game with a friend with this. So I need it separated out in these categories. So yes, if you're familiar with Buffy and you like that, then I think this would be a good deck for work. And I love the tin. Anything in a tin gets ding ding extra points from me. Now, for my friend, I don't think the Unicorn Journey Tarot is a good fit. I just don't think, well, I could be wrong. Also, this is an indie deck, so it would be very expensive, I believe, to get this over to where you are in that beautiful part of the world. And it's a deck that has an actual story that runs through the majors and minors and the different suits. I don't think a particularly good match for you. Now, given the kind of work that you do and that it can be quite stressful at times, I do like the Way of the Panda, and I have this mini. Now, this one, it is an indie deck, and you would have to pay to get it shipped from the US. But she does run specials. Like, if you are interested in it, I would just follow her and wait and see when she runs a special. But I really love this deck because it does deal with some pretty, it takes on all the hard things, but they're pandas, so it's just a little easier to take it, even when it's like a tough one. Like, this is not a particularly pleasant looking situation that this panda has got themselves into, and I enjoy that it's kind of it can be sort of gender fluid the way you look at it, and I think that's a plus. Given the world that we're living in and the different kinds of people that you may meet or be working with or for, I think that not getting locked into any particular gender presentation is a good thing. So look at this devil. I mean, that's a fierce looking devil. It's really pretty dark, but it's still a panda. So yeah, so I like the Way of the Panda because it lets me look at the darkness and not really get totally dragged into the horribleness of the way life can be sometimes. And on that theme, Diary of Skeleton. I have no idea what the pricing on this would be for you where you are, Sarah. I'll pull this up so people can see. Well, focus, please. There you go. Okay, hopefully you could get a sight from, there we go, that's better. I also like Diary of Skeleton. And I like it for you, Sarah. It's just, it's I don't know why I think that, skeletons are funny, but I think I just have a kind of a dark sense of humor. Yeah. Yeah, there's a playing card deck that's all skeletons, and I actually can't play games with it because I just laugh too much, and it's upsetting to the people that I'm with. I tried to play a card game with that skeleton deck with my daughter and her then fiance, boyfriend, whatever. And they were like, we can't play with this deck. You're being too silly. So, yeah. Anyway, that's a me problem, not a you problem. Let's see. Ooh, you know what? This is not a tarot deck. This is an oracle deck. And let's see if I can put my hands on this. I don't know if you've seen this. Again, this would have to get to you from, I'm walking away from the mic. This would have to get to you from the US, so not sure what the shipping on that's going to be, but I do know plenty of people in the UK, in the EU, who use this deck, Deviant Moon Tarot, and he's got so many variations on this. I'm sure one of them is a mini. We're going to put that to the side because I think that's outside the scope of what you would look for. You can find lots of walkthroughs. I mentioned Antoinette's Tarot and Jewelry to you at the beginning of the video. She loves this deck. And you could go over to her channel, and she's got several variations on the deck. I feel pretty sure there's a mini of this, and if there is, you might really enjoy it. Yep. So to give any other viewers who are watching this a peek into our relationship, we play D&D online together, and Sarah ain't scared of the weird stuff. So, yep. You may like this. Okay, put that one to the side. Like I said, check out Antoinette's channel. She uses it a lot. All right, this is by the same creator as The Way of the Panda Tarot. And this is called the Heart Aligned deck. This is the first edition. She has done a different edition. I think the cards are perhaps a little easier to read. But this is also something that might be nice for you in your practice at work because it's small and it has these personal affirmations. And let's see if you can see it. It's got a spot gloss on it. Can you see the heart? Maybe. So what you do is you read the affirmation and you put your finger on the heart to sort of activate it and feel it. And it's got all these lovely soft pastels. I'm not sure about the later editions. I think the colors are the same. Anyway, these messages I think would be good for somebody at work, and depending on your kind of work that you do, these are the kind of affirmations that might actually help you to relate better or be more patient or whatever with the people that you work for or with. So yeah, I think this is a nice deck to have at work, just to help take care of yourself. And again, because it's coming from the US, I'm not sure what the shipping on that's going to be. Not good would be my guess. So, but you know, sometimes you can pick up things in trade groups. All right. The Squid Cake Tarot, extremely popular rock pool. So that's out of Australia. You should be able to get this without a big surcharge. Now this is Marseille. We've never talked about whether you read Marseille or not. I'm having a sip of tea here, but you know, in spirit, tea. In spirit, I'd have a sip of iron brew just for you. So I think that this tickles me. It tickles me pink. So it is a Marseille deck. So I personally have to use the book, but I think you could read it without the book and not necessarily read it as a Marseille deck. It's got really kind of, it's got a sort of monstery feel to it, right? But you do have the pips. So I'm not sure how you feel about pips exactly. Like I said, I have to use the the deck. Now, I am in the process of writing keywords on this, on the pip cards, all the minor cards, so it's easier for me to read without having to reference the book. I ain't scared of writing keywords on my decks if that's what works for me. So that's the Squid Cake Tarot. I think it's a good option, actually, for you. Put this one away. Okay, all of these little minis, these are not tarot decks. They're just little oracle decks, little, I don't know, little musings and inspirations. So this one, you know, this is from, this may resonate with you. And I think that you could get, let's see, who's the publisher? Yeah, Rockpool. So again, you could get this without all the crazy import issues. On this one, you have these really lovely images on the back. So you could actually use that for just a quick, like, grounding meditation moment. And then when you flip it over, I did want to see this while I was visiting, but never got there, of course. You flip it over, and it has a little contemplation. But this one has a suggestion for what kind of quartz you could carry. Let's say this one says carry heather. Maybe more of a before work than at work, but so that's the Druid Wisdom, that little mini. This one, I like it a lot. I'm not going to suggest it to you, but I'll let people see it. I just feel like it would be really kind of crazy expensive for you to get it, but it's a beautiful oracle deck. I don't really know that it would be a good choice for work, but a beautiful deck. Okay, put that to the side. This is an extremely silly thing that I got at Barnes & Noble. So you don't have Barnes & Noble, but you do have other big box store. How cute is this? I mean, it's very silly. I've never tried to read with it because it is minuscule. I just got it because I don't know why. Because I couldn't resist, that's why. All right, and it was cheap. What's in here? Oh, yes. Okay, so this is a print-on-demand deck. I really love it, and Orsi does it. I'll put some links in the description below for these decks, but I don't think, I don't choose this for you. All right, this is the Vacant House Tarot, which I like very much. Let's see, where is this coming from? China. I got it online. It wasn't cheap, but it's really my aesthetic, and I just think it's like this dark, weird, freaky, in pastels, gothic horror, Victorian nonsense. Tickles me pink. I'm not sure that it's for you, though. That was the Vacant House Tarot. All right, this is a very, very popular one. It's the White Sage Tarot. Little tea break there. This is a White Sage Tarot. Extremely popular, mass market, U.S. games, but I do believe you get U.S. games over there, so. And it's kind of pippy. Pippy Longstockings. And it's lots of animals. And the colors have meanings. They're chakra related. So this is another deck where if you want to get full usage out of it, you're going to want to use the little booklet. So I have a feeling, since you're reading it, look at this Queen of Cups. I mean, please. I have a feeling if you want to use it at work, you want a deck that you're not going to need to take a look at the book necessarily. You want to be able to get a quick hit. Or maybe something, you know, times change. Who knows? This is a chakra deck. No, that's indie deck. No. Okay. This one I'm sure you can get. And if you're going to have an oracle deck at work, I think this will be probably my first choice. It's going to be accessible. It's not going to be too expensive. And it is a classic. Woto, Wisdom of the Oracle. And tight box. So here's what it looks like. There's got to be hundreds of walkthroughs of this deck online. So I'm not going to give you the full yada yada about why I think it would be good for you, but it's a fantastic oracle deck. I would suggest this as somebody's first oracle deck. So if you're thinking you might want an oracle deck, this is a really good one. This is something that you want to pull when you have a couple of minutes, because you do want to read the whole message. So in this deck, you get for a card, you'll get an essential meaning. If you're reading it for just an oracle, something about if you're reading it for a relationship, for prosperity, for protection, right? So it has a lot of uses. It's a great workhorse deck. That was hard to say for me. All right, narrowing it down. In here, whoops, spillage on the floor. Good thing you can't see that. So I made this cute little leather holder for this. I should make more of these. And in here, I can't remember what's in here because it's been so long since I used it. Oh, look at this. You might like this deck, actually. Now that I'm looking at it, you might like this one. Actually, I'm liking this for you. So that's it in the case, but this is its box. So this is Llewellyn, right? Barbara Moore. That's usually Llewellyn. Yeah, Barbara Moore. Barbara Moore's decks, books are Chef's Kiss, really wonderful. And yeah, this has got that kind of fantasy look. This is, it's in that little leather thing because I was bringing it to a D&D game to use while I was playing. And you know what? I like this. I would not have called this before I started looking at it, but I do like this for you for a work deck. Yep, I do. This one, I'm recommending this one. It should not be expensive, and because it's mass market and it's little. It's the Mystical Manga Tarot with Barbara Moore. Rand is the artist, I guess, and Barbara Moore is the author. And I got an autographed one. All right, there we go. I did not meet her. It was just something Llewellyn was doing. All right, I also like this Sage Rabbit Tarot because it's just so fantastic. And I've had it for a while, so I can't remember what the deal on it is. All right, so this is an indie deck. It may not be available for you. I was using it because I was playing a Herringon in a D&D game. And so I would pull this out to use during the game. Helped me to sort of focus in on my character, what they were up to. I like it a lot, but I don't really know that it's a work deck for you. So there it is. Beautiful deck. Put it to the side. All right, a classic. The Sassorabito, which comes in a smaller, this one's called the Tiny Traveler. And I'm not sure what the availability is in your neck of the woods. I was looking for the information. It is an indie deck, but it's not super expensive as indie decks go. So it doesn't come with much of a book, but you might like this. So this is a little bit bigger, right? Let me put it next to. So this is the Llewellyn, the little one, and one next to something else. Here's the Buffy, so it's longer than the Buffy. So yeah, she's calling this Tiny Traveler. So here's what this one looks like. Nudity warning. It's really beautiful, isn't it? I like the black borders. And there's a lot of facial expression. So if you like reading with facial expressions, if that's important to you, you'll get a lot of that with this deck. And even in the pips, there is some storytelling. So it's easier to read, I think, than just a straight, like that Marseille, the squid cake, So, right, like you could say, well, it's kind of pippish, but there's still a story here with the chords. And so, and I do like that there is some age variations. Like I find it when everybody's young and beautiful, that's kind of annoying to me. But this one does have some different body types, some different ages and ethnicities, so that's good. See, we're not all young and beautiful. Some of us are older and beautiful. So yeah, I think this is a nice choice for you. I'm just not sure about the price and availability. Dreams of Gaia. Gorgeous. I'm not going to advise it for you. It's just like, because I don't know enough about you and your tarot reading style. So like I said, it is gorgeous, but it's not like just, if you are a Rider-Waite-Smith girly, and you're not just going to pick this up and it's going to make a lot of sense. You're going to have to use the book, or you're going to read it. You know, you're going to be looking for intuitive hits. It's a different deck. So that would be probably not. That's the Dreams of Gaia, and that's Blue Angel. So you should be able to get that. Another rock pool deck, the Sweet Foragers deck, just in case you're thinking, you know, Feywild kind of ideas. This is it. Look at that green. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Very fantastical. Come on. Real Feywild energy. And not the happy, friendly kind of Feywild. This is the tricky phase. The ones who just might do you in. So I like this deck. I think it's a lot of fun. And, you know, could bring a little bit of whimsy and ha-ha into the day. Right, so that's this one. This is called the Sweet Foragers. Now we're going to talk about what I thought of when I first saw the question from you. What would I advise? And this is something that I don't have in mini. It's the Lightseer, and it is available mini now. And trying to think of what I want to say exactly about this. Because now that I've gone through all my minis to show you, I still think this is what I would say first. But a little tea while I gather myself. All right, why do I like this? Well, me and several thousand other people. I like this because, again, we have lots of different kinds of people in here. You know, it leans heavily Caucasian, white. But then that's the environment you're working in. So I just think it's like every single card tells a story. It's for those of us who are inclined to tell stories. This is a storyteller's deck, I think. And I think that pulling this, as you can see, I've been reading with reversals lately. It's like a wonderful springboard for your intuition, for your imagination. And then if you're not really feeling it, and sometimes, let's face it, we're not, the deck's got amazing book. And yeah, it's got a book, and it also has at the end of each little, and I'm assuming you're going to get the same information in the mini. At the end of it, you've got this wonderful little like mantra affirmation that you can say. And I think it's really, really helpful. So we've got, if you read with reversals, you've got a Shadow Seer and the Light Seer for upright. Nice little text and a little affirmation or, you know, manifestation mantra thing you can use. And that's why it's just simple. She's got so much, Chris Ann has got so much information online, and she is prolific on social media, so you can always find stuff that she's up to. Follow her on Instagram. And that's why she's my #1 recommendation, even though I do not actually have the mini. Because I use this at work, but I work from home, so I don't need a mini. So I use this in conjunction with her Oracle deck, which I don't have in front of me because it's downstairs where I work. And I usually pull both an Oracle, what should we call it? The creative something, I don't know. Oh, my poor old brain. Anyway, I'll put that in the description. I got a lot of stuff to put in the description. So that's it. Those are my minis. And I am hoping I'm going to tag Tony at Antoinette Tarot and Jewelry, as well as Dark Fae Tarot. I'm going to tag them and see what they have in their mini collection, since they have similar retail opportunities for you. They live in your neck of the woods. Okay, so that's that. And I hope that was helpful. And I hope you have a good day at work. Bye.